Today's one of them days we need the rollback. We don't have to do a whole lot of work, but oh man, it was frozen to the ground. We've had a lot of freezing rain lately. Anyways, I need to go pick up a truck that I've got and take it over to the shop and see if we can get this thing running. I've owned it for 8, 9, 10 years, whatever, and I have never ever tried to start this thing. So we'll get over here and get it picked up and get over to the shop.
tries to get this going because it was sunk in pretty deep and frozen into the mud, but after a few tries it finally came out.
5-speed manual transmissions. I've owned this truck for 8, 9, 10 years, and I have never tried to start it. I only wanted the truck for basically the air ride rear suspension and then some trinket parts, because the IDIs just aren't real attractive. That 5-speed transmission, not real attractive. And the cab's pretty rusty. The hood's usable, but not great. But anyways, I've been saying for a long time I want to thin the herd and I want to get rid of a bunch of trucks. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing over truck by truck, and I'm going to look into them, try and get them started, and see exactly if the motors are any good, if the transmission's any good. One of the nice things about this truck is it has 8-lug 19.5 axles, and they're 4-wheel disc brakes with air ride rear suspension. And I have another truck build coming up that I can use those axles under, so they're pretty attractive. So we're gonna get it over here and see if we can get see if we can make it start and run drive.
That's good. You want to get the hood open.
So this is how International does a lot of their lower GVW trucks. They come back here from where the leaf spring hangers, like in this area, and then right above the axle it ramps up and gets skinnier from there back, and that would be the bump stop and the airbag mount there. And they do that, one reason for the travel of this, so they can get the box down low and still use these nice airbags. This suspension rides very, very well, and that's the biggest reason I wanted this truck. You can see how they build it. They even use the track bar with the mount on the side so that they can get it even lower. The way this thing works is it has a dump valve inside, and of course there's an air tank. An air compressor runs off the motor on a V-belt, fills the air compressor, and then the dump valve is part of the ride height valve right in here. And the way it works is you can dump the air with the key off, but as soon as you turn the key back on, it immediately refills the airbag, so you cannot drive the truck down the road without air in the bags. Now this truck's a 2000. It's a 1989, so it's got a 7.3 in it, and we did get a key for it. The later ones had a tachometer, and then the speedometer had a range in it for what gear to shift to be at what speed, so from 0 to 15 miles an hour first gear, so on and so forth, but I don't think any of them had air conditioning. They did come with nicer door panels, and there's an insulation panel back here, and the cloth seats, which this one's pretty bad. This window's broken, as you can see, but anyways, park and brake warning switch, that light, so you don't drive with the park and brake on. I think the park and brake's in the back of the 5-speed. Yeah, on the back of the 5-speed. Good battery box, and it's 4-wheel disc brakes. Now this truck, I'm told this truck has not been on the road in over 25 years. So I'd say the critters have been in there, leaving deposits on top of the nut collector. Anyway, so first things first, we got to get some batteries in it, because there's absolutely no batteries. Nice battery box though. We'll be using that for something, I'm sure. And then we'll have to secure a fuel system of some sort, so we'll have to cobble something together up here. Of course, I'm doing this when it's nice and cold out. No need to do it when it's warm. Oh yeah, look, rodents have had a field day in there. Looks like a raccoon or something's been on top of the air cleaner, so we'll have to clean all that out. And the fuel line probably comes off of this side, if I remember right. I don't remember. I think there's a fuel pump. Yeah, there's a fuel pump right down in there. So we'll see if we can get our fuel line off of there, maybe, and see what we can find. So one thing I think a lot of people overlook is when an engine's been sitting a long time, battery connections are going to be critical, because it can take a lot of amperage to get it to turn over the first time. So it's very important that we clean up all the connections and we have some good batteries to start with. I don't want to take away material, I just want the corrosion off so that I can get a good connection on here. These IDIs, they rarely start without glow plugs, so if the glow plugs in this thing are shot, we will probably really struggle trying to get it to run. I think these are like a 20 or 21 to 1 compression engine, so they don't do real well with a big turbo upgrade because you know, just blow the head gaskets. They're just not designed for that. And the other thing is, you can only shove so much fuel into a cylinder and it's still get enough air in there to fully atomize and ignite. Once you get so much in there with that high compression, it makes it very difficult to get any more air in there. Okay, let's got that. Let's see if we got a key to turn on now. Here. See if anything happens. Oh, that's a good sign. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to under the hood. It's always nice when the rodents have used this as their own personal latrine.
That's raccoon poop.
Yep. And mouse crap inside. Over here.
Oh yeah, there's no shortage of that.
See what's inside the air filter. Oh, good.
Mouse.
It didn't make it in there. That's excellent.
In this part, I guess.
Well, what I'm saying is there is a filter, so they didn't get down inside the intake, because had they done that and they mouse or whatever peed down the intake, then sometimes the pistons, you know, the pistons will rust to the cylinder walls, or even the, you know, cylinder walls themselves rust real bad. But that's good that it had an actual filter in it, because a lot of times guys will just put batteries in it and start cranking, you know, and if there's no filter, you know, you're shoving all that down in your engine, you know. So we'll get this all cleaned up. I'm waiting for the air compressor to pump up. I'm gonna blow all this out of here, all that debris, get it cleaned up the best I can. Now we're gonna start working on the fuel. I don't want to pull fuel out of this tank. I want to pull out fresh fuel, so I will pull the fuel line loose from this, which may be this right here. I think it is. I think this is the feed, and the return comes over here from the backside. So we'll interrupt this, and we're going to pull out of a 5-gallon bucket of fuel, and I'll just change that fitting out real quick. That way we're pulling good fresh fuel, and we'll return back into that tank so we can circulate fuel through the entire system before we try and start it, because that fuel's been in there an awful long time, whatever might or may not be in it. I figured since the fuel pump was right here with a rubber line on it, rather than fighting the rubber line that could definitely be split and sucking air, we'll just take this off. Run a new line. Hopefully that didn't just screw me. Okay. I think that fuel pump is broken.
Well, that's not good.
If it is, they're cheap. It looks like it's got a rust hole in it. I think we're on. Okay. I'll get this into a bucket.
Look at me. What's up with your hat?
Huh?
Your hat.
What about it?
It's all slid forward. It looks funny.
So I guess I should have made sure that the engine isn't stuck and it'll actually turn over, because otherwise this would be for nothing. Oh. Oh. Most times you can pull the belts and get it to turn. Usually the alternator's a 15/16 socket, head, so I'll put a wrench or a socket and a ratchet on it and see if I can get it to turn if the belts are tight enough. But I think that's gonna turn. What do you got for oil? Barely on the stick. This is why I keep old engine oil around for stuff like this, because I don't want to put new engine oil in this thing. I don't want to change the oil either. I just want to put some used oil in it and see if it's going to fire before we invest in anything. I overflowed down there, so I got as much on the front of the engine as I probably did in the truck on the engine. So we have your towel. Nothing. Wow. Okay. That was about a half a gallon, so let's go get some more. It's gallon number 2. It's not looking good. Not to mention it doesn't want to go down this spout. It keeps overflowing. That's not good.
This is neat.
Yeah.
I don't remember, I don't pay much attention, but I don't remember seeing one of those on a truck. That's convenient.
No, that's UHAUL specific.
Wow.
So UHAUL does stuff like this. So when
I know what you're gonna say.
they have to go do a roadside service, they don't have to be on the other side, the curb side, to jump the truck. They could do it on this side. That's why the fuel tank's on this side, because then they can add fuel on the curb side, not be in the road.
I thought you were gonna say something else. Like when people rent them and they want things as simple as possible.
You gotta be kidding me.
What, nothing?
I know this is the right dipstick because the other IDI I have is the same. Nothing.
What? Must have been
Empty.
bone dry.
This is not good. The likeness, this is a junk motor, is getting higher by the minute. I'll have to get another jug of oil. We'll give it a minute to run down, but it ain't looking good, is it?
No, you'd think it would have just a tiny bit of just,
Nothing.
where it ran down.
But then again, you see where the safe mark is. It's adding full. It's in here, so there's not like it's way up here where you could see how much it is, like a lot of cars today are. Okay, we can get another jug. I guess I need a more restrictive funnel. Too often I say that.
Oh, you didn't spill too much.
Get my towel and clean that.
Okay.
It's about 3/4 of a gallon. See if it shows any stick yet. It's starting to get something on the stick.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, here. By the time I get this in, that means there's probably no oil in this thing at all.
Yeah, just a little, but something.
Yeah.
Here, you want your dipstick back? Dipstick?
Put it back where it goes. And keep filling. Do you imagine we would
Where's the hole
started
where
this
it goes?
down here?
Okay.
Dang it, I'm overflowing again.
Well, don't do that.
Well, I'd like to not do it, but I can only put a trickle in this thing. I think the funnel's just cut wide open because they're using it for diesel fuel. So it lets a lot more go through than that 90 can take.
Wow, those flakes are getting bigger.
I did notice, if you look over here, my foot is, go on the other side, you'll see the temperature sending in it. Doesn't look like it's hooked up. See that piece going in the head with the threaded stud on it with no wire?
No, I don't, but
right there.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see it now.
There's another gallon. So that's 3 and about a half. I think, I could be wrong, but that's probably all it holds.
Where's the lid to this? Do you know? Oh, there it is.
I guess the good thing is it's not full of water.
Yeah. Maybe we just have to let it sit for a little bit.
Well, we're up to the add mark, so
It's not showing on there, but yeah, we can see it.
you turn it and you see it's right at the bottom of the add mark. So by the time it all makes its way down there, we might have something. So, all right, next we need to make sure, see if the glow plugs are actually turning on when we turn the key on, because this thing, especially with today, will need the glow plugs. I took a blowgun and I blew all the crap out from the top of the engine, covered the intake. So we'll check that glow plug relay here in a minute. I'll get test light, voltmeter, or whatever, see if we got power there. I need a good ground for my voltmeter. It's not very good, but
oh, I see oil clear.
no, that's just from us taking it out. We're in the ad. We're right here.
I know before there wasn't nothing anywhere, so at least it's running down, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So this has a tag on it, like a rebuild tag here, or maybe it's just an identification tag. Okay. I'm gonna find a ground, and I need a really good ground so I can get a good measurement of what we're getting through here. I have that. You turn the key on.
Okay.
And tell me if you see like a wait to start light or glow plug light come on. Don't crank it, just turn it on. I'm on the output side of that solenoid, I think. What's the deal? Because I had power for a minute. Do it again. Turn it off. Turn it on. Yeah, we got a bad connection somewhere. Wonder if the starter's got a bad connection. Because I've got all the batteries in nice and tight.
What does it have anything to do with this that I found while I was
That's
cleaning?
the radio, I think.
Okay.
Oh!
What does that say? WIF, possibly? I just caught a glimpse of it. Water and fuel. That, and then I don't know, something blinked over there.
You know what?
What?
I think this ignition switch is no good.
Yeah, it sure don't seem like it.
Looks like we're taking that out. Okay. All right, so we have power at the starter. We have power coming over to this line here. And what is very interesting, I don't know if I can do this where you can see the voltage backwards like this. I don't think I can. But if you turn the key on, we lose all of our voltage. Yeah, I lose all our voltage there as soon as I turn the key on. So, what I want to do, none of these lines want to come loose, and I don't want to break them. So, I'm just going to crack them loose and hopefully get a little blaster down in there. See if that helps us at all, because I want to bleed the air out. There's a problem with the interior wiring. I think the mice have got to it, because sometimes we can make connections, sometimes we can't. So rather than mess with it, I'm just gonna bypass it. I'm just gonna put voltage to the fuel cutoff solenoid. The glow plugs don't work. If I put power to the solenoid, you can probably hear them. I don't know if I can get in there to do it now, but
It's not doing it now.
No.
Do you need this gel box on? Is that why?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna worry about it. They don't work, so
Yeah, it was making like a clicking sound.
yeah, it clicks. Oh, that one's bad. That doesn't break. So hopefully, I mean, we may have to use some starting fluid. I didn't really want to, but you know, we do what we gotta do. Okay. I gotta add power to that, so let me get that set up. So here's where we're at. There is either a power or ground problem inside the cab body, whatever, because you can get voltage, but as soon as the load starts to come on, it breaks. So it's either a bad connection on power or ground or both. So I added another ground because I didn't like that cable that was there. So I added another ground. So what we're going to do is bypass the cab, basically. So in order for this engine to run, it needs 12 volts to the injection pump to the fuel cutoff solenoid. That solenoid, when it works, it's energized, and it pushes on a lever that opens up for the fuel to flow. So we're just going to bypass that. We're going to run 12 volts right to it, and then you should be able to hear this click. You see I have jumper here. So what we're going to do is first we're going to see if we have fuel, because I took blaster, sprayed all the injector lines down and backed them off, and I've cranked it a little bit and we've got no fuel. So the next step is, in this particular instance, it's cold, it's in the teens, and so we could have water in that fuel filter and it be plugged up and not letting any fuel flow through. I don't know, so we're going to check the output of that filter, see if there's anything coming out of it, and then we'll know at least we have fuel. Glad we chose a nice cold day to do this.
Yeah.
Just adds to the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not too excited about it.
Probably could have went to the Schrader valve here. Alright, now crank it, see if we got any fuel. Well, that explains that.
Yep.
Alright. Let's get some fuel over there. Okay. Look down in there. See where the fuel pump is? Up.
Oh,
Down in
there
there.
too. Okay, I was seeing it spring. Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna have to bypass the pump. We're gonna go straight to the filter. Oh look, it's starting to rain. Great. Alright. We'll take our inlet, our outfeed, which we had on this hose. Okay. Now I gotta oil this. I got a diesel soaked leg. That was nice.
That's always fun to wash. Try and get that smell out.
Gotta connect these two. Just gonna use a push delete here. Just a quick one, because we're pushing. If this was a siphon, then I would want a compression. All right, let's see if we got fuel now. Look for it to come out of that fitting over there.
Yeah,
There
on
we
the other
go.
side, yeah. Mhm.
There we go, we got fuel. All right, let me put that back in. Okay, that should be good there. So now we're gonna turn the pump on, crank it, add this right in there. Okay, now we'll crank it and tell me if you get
Okay. Hey, what?
We have to. I gotta turn on the power to the solenoid, or I won't get any fuel to the injectors.
Okay.
See anything?
I didn't see anything.
Like I see this return line leaking here. Yeah, it's leaking diesel here from the return. That's not good.
What about that back one? Is there a little bit of fuel maybe? It's making bubbles.
Yeah, it's getting air. So we're gonna have to do something with this return line because it's letting a lot of fuel go here. Yeah, it's leaking pretty good right here. You can see it's split.
Well, I can't see what's there.
So anything it doesn't need in here is gonna run through this return line. Hands in there. Batteries charge a bit. We'll work on this return.
It's off.
Off?
Yeah.
Wait for the battery. Man, we were making some progress. I heard it kick one. See smoke?
Yep.
We'll start to get fuel. Let the batteries charge up a bit.
Okay.
I'm going to start closing these down. I didn't see much fuel coming out, but I saw some. And the more that are open, the less chances we have it's going to fire. And I don't want to use starting fluid. Alright, I'll leave the other three open. So if it fires, it may spit out of these three. The other ones are closed.
Okay. That noise is our Dodge next to us. We're using jumper cables.
Turn that box on, see if it's on.
What?
Jump box. Turn the button on. Push the button. No? Yeah. Alright.
No, it's on now.
See, we don't have any glow plugs either, so we're kind of... I don't have a way to make glow plugs work because they just cycle.
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah, we got nothing on our power for our...
It did earlier, though.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Getting somewhere. Eventually what's going to happen is we crank enough, the engine's going to start to warm up and the glow plugs won't be a factor anymore. I'm going to try and close the rest of these off. See if it's gonna help.
What?
Get this closed up. The rest of these, we should have had fuel. I mean, I got some fuel coming down underneath it, but not through the top, but like I would like it to be.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah, we got the battery charged. We're getting somewhere.
Yep.
It was pouring out of the original suction line because the tank vent is plugged and it had a pressure on it from the return. Everything was returning. It should be okay now, if that was the problem. that was the problem, then it shouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
If it was the vent. Let me start it.
Okay.
I think I just ran it out of fuel because I was revving it. That little pump can't keep up.
Yeah. Can't believe it started. That's crazy. I think it's for sure some part would be bad.
Lose our fuel? No. Lost our fuel pump, I think.
Oh.
May have lost our, lost our fuel pump right here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it is kind of a hokey setup.
Yeah, a little bit. But it worked.
Let it run. I see where all the oil went. Back in, charge it. So it's got a little bit of a stumble and maybe a miss. I don't know, it might be clearing up. I don't know, it still may have one not firing. Probably look at the coolant before I run too long. I can't believe that thing fired up. Make sure you got a pressure building. Nope, no pressure. Got coolant. I think it's got a bad injector. I'm going to crack one of these lines one at a time until I can find out which cylinder it is.
He's cracking one injector line loose at a time to see if it makes a difference. If he makes one of them firing. Uh-oh, you're not sure.
Yeah.
Flip down.
That's my fuel turn on. Let me get it started again. pick up the we don't have a lot of fuel left in my 5-gallon bucket because we're pumping the fuel in the system and into that tank, into the factory tank. And I don't want the old dirty fuel going back into our new supply. I like to get all that nasty stuff, just let it go back in the tank. We may need to pump up and get some more fuel. All the gears are there. Brakes work. And they release. Not bad. About 15 to 20 pounds of oil pressure. I don't know if the temperature's coming up or not. I don't think that oil pressure gauge is reading anything. I'm going to try and backfeed this ignition. Oh. Came on for a minute.
What did?
Gauges. I'm going to try and backfeed the ignition system and see if those gauges will work. Fingers are so covered in diesel fuel, I can't, the gloves,
Yeah.
can't seem to get the alligator clip to work. Now, I'm going to backfeed through here, which means this will be a big spark now. Yeah, look at that. You hear it?
Yeah. Did you know you're leaking fuel out of that hose right there? Okay.
That's that return line. I don't have
Okay.
Oh yeah. Look here. Look at the oil pressure now.
Okay, move your arm so I can get in there. The diesel all over my phone.
Over 30 pounds of oil pressure. Temperature setting in it. We're coming up on temp. We're charging. Oh yeah. We know that oil pressure gauge don't work right. Look. See it go over 100. Hey, whatever.
I think we're running out of fuel.
We'll run out of fuel.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I don't want to fight.
Yeah. Hurry, hurry. Uh-oh.
We out of fuel. Oh well. You know what though? I'm all right with that. It runs. The clutch works. It doesn't overheat, at least at this point. It wasn't putting any pressure into the expansion tank right away. I'm okay with this. Got my fuel pump off since we ain't got no fuel. I'm gonna call that a win.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it is. The clutch works, the transmission, all the gears work, and the brakes work, and it'll move forward and back. I don't know. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty happy about that. Probably could have done it on a little warmer day,
Yeah.
but whatever. So it needs one injector. That the third injector back from the front on the driver's side made no difference when I cracked it and it was running. So yeah, okay. I'm not upset about that. I think the injectors for this thing are under like $100. They're really cheap. So if I was going to do it, I'd probably do all the return lines and all the injectors at the same time and fuel filter, and then take that tank off and flush it. And I think that would do it. Oh, we got to fix that oil line. God, the oil supply line for that compressor is leaking. And I don't know if it's leaking because it's loose, or if it's leaking because, oh, yeah, it's because it looks like it's loose. 9/16 here, I think. Oh no, it's this part that's loose here. Okay. It's leaking in between the two right here, so it'll need a new line. But even so, I mean, after sitting all that time, and that's all that's wrong with it, look how badly it leaked though.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Anyways, yeah, let's get some tools picked up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. No starting fluid.
Yeah, that's good.
And no glow plugs.
Yeah.
No glow plugs, but we did crank it. If you crank it long enough and you create enough heat in the cylinders, eventually something's going to happen. It may not be what you want or as smooth as you'd like, but you'll fire off. But yeah. Well, I'm going to call this a win. I mean, we overcame an awful lot with this old girl, and you know what? I'm pleased as punch. I mean, we had no batteries. We hooked up batteries. It didn't crank really well. It was kind of slow, so we added a ground. That really took care of it. We've got a wiring problem. We don't have any ignition power inside, which could be a power, could be a ground. More than likely, we got a ground issue or a connection, I guess. But then we come out here, and we get it to crank over, and we have no fuel. And we find that the fuel pump isn't pushing fuel, so we added fuel pump to push it through that pump into the filter, and found that the fuel pump had cracked and rusted and it was leaking horribly. So we bypassed that, ran fuel right to the fuel filter and into there, cracked all the lines, cranked it for a while, finally got some fuel coming through, and the old girl came to life. We had to put 3.5 gallons of oil in this thing, which is probably close to what it actually holds. And we know where the oil's going now. I mean, look at that. It's just pouring out of there. But anyways, I'm happy to say it runs real well. We'll go ahead and get some more diesel fuel and start it up and let it run for, you know, like an hour or so, and make sure the temperature comes up and doesn't do anything weird. But I really wouldn't expect that, because the coolant was full. The oil was not. There was no water in the oil pan, so I think we're okay. But we'll go ahead and run a little while longer before we deem it a usable engine. But I got to tell you, I was shocked when I went to go put it in gear, and the clutch actually released and engaged, and it went through all the gears, didn't grind. If you don't know, a lot of times these transmissions, third and fifth gear typically can be a problem in these trucks. So in this particular transmission, the brakes worked. It rolled forward and back. Again, I couldn't go very far because I had my 5-gallon bucket of diesel fuel down here. But all in all, she's not a cream puff right now, but when the weather gets nice, we'll give it a little pressure washing and see what it looks like. The cab's pretty rough, so I don't expect to be able to salvage it. You really can't tell here all that well, but it's pretty rough. There's holes in the floor and what have you. The fuel tank, I think, is okay. It started to build air pressure, which was great, but the ride height valve is broken back here, so it never actually aired anything up. So you know, we tried. It is what it is. But anyways, I'm just going to put it in the wind column. We got a decent motor, decent transmission, decent front axle, rear axle. Now, we did notice that the inside edges of the tires are gone, so either the tie rods are out or the kingpins, either one. But regardless, there's a lot of good parts here that we didn't know what they were, and now we do. So I hope you guys enjoyed following along as we tried to get this old relic started, and look forward to more of them, because I have quite a few trucks sitting around that I bought and I've never tried to get them running. So look forward to that. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.